as we were driving down to Sioux Falls to have her tested at the School for the Deaf, we just looked at each other and said we probably should prepare ourselves for the worst, because right now we think there's nothing wrong. And so we did. We got the worst. We found out that she was severe to profoundly deaf, and
it hit us like a club.
Yeah, we weren't expecting it. But we started learning to sign that very day. We learned 2 words, bird and fish, and from then on, we decided it was up to us to start teaching her what she had to know.
Chelsea is served through the Early Childhood Outreach Program from the South Dakota School for the Deaf, which is, of course, an agency funded by the state. And through that program, as outreach consultant, I go into the home and help the parents with lessons on hearing aids, auditory training, language, thinking skills, some of the things that parents need to know as far as being an active participant in their child's program. In addition to that, with Chelsea, we coordinate the services that she receives in speech therapy at Dakota Midland in Aberdeen and in preschool in Aberdeen. The family has also taken part in the family learning workshops, which are sponsored by the South Dakota School for the Deaf, which enables the family to come together with other families and to share experiences in raising a hearing impaired child.
If I were to advise people in general in the rural community, is to accept that child as an individual, look at them as an individual, and look at the disability secondly, rather than looking at that child's disability first. Because if you look at the disability first, you're going to be afraid of them. And those misconceptions or other misunderstandings will be developed if you look at that person's disability first. But if you look at the person as an individual, you will see the disability becomes second. And another thing, don't fear, to try to communicate with them. Regardless of the type of disability that they have, approach them. You'd be surprised. They're human beings.
It's made me more open to any child with any handicap. Before, I would used to meet any child and be a little bit inhibited, like I might say the wrong thing, or it might be kind of stupid, or it hurt somebody's feeling. But now, I'm happy when somebody takes the time to pay attention to Chelsea with her hearing loss, and a child's a child, and they like the attention too, and maybe a child with a handicap doesn't get the spoiling that some children do with the attention. So it's opened me up that way, I guess, in my own mind to any child.
We're so much more around it, like taking Chelsea to therapy. The kids before and after her, you meet them and you say hi to them, and you find out they're happy-go-lucky little kids too. There's a little boy that's right after Chelsea in therapy. He's the happiest, talkingest little son of a gun you ever saw. And he's in a wheelchair and can hardly move his hands.
You always have dreams about what your children are going to be, and you just don't dream about any handicap at all. And visually, she looked just fine. There couldn't be anything wrong with her.
I had a friend who has a baby about the same age as Chelsea, had a brain tumor, and we were talking at a basketball game, and he says, I thought healthy children were a given when we were growing up.
A lot of times the children are kept in their little communities. I guess that's getting to your question, where they aren't broken out. And a lot of times, if the parents would just open up and try to carry on as normal the daily life as they can, take them to the store, to whatever your errands are in the day, it lets the community see the child and not be so afraid of them, and to see that there is everyday life with a handicap.
That I only have